On the polar opposite end of the scale, in terms of quality, where they definitely don't shoot for perfection, and hell, they don't even really shoot for greatness, Mike Bilby, EA's Executive Vice President of Strategic Growth, a title that is longer than it probably should be, after 25 years of working at the company, still struggles with the idea that the external view of EA is that they're all the bad guys. There was an entire article around this, surrounding this, and as a strategic guy, what he's going to try and do to, or what he's trying to do to, change perceptions, and by that I don't even mean that he's not even acknowledging it so much as he's just saying what they're doing in the hopes that people will change their perceptions of EA. But I had to giggle because if you are struggling as somebody who's worked for EA for 25 years, if you can't see why almost everyone hates your company, you're in the wrong business. I mean, you're in the right business because you've somehow acquired an executive position.
Well, you're in the wrong position.
Yeah.
In your business.
That's bad.
I mean, he is the president of strategic growth. And I mean, wow, if anybody should know what the fuck's going on, it's probably that guy.
Dude.
I know. Listen, EA has done some great things over the years, but man,
it's minimal.
But man, the absolute
number of developers that they have pocketed and then crushed and closed the doors on keeps growing.
The list is so long.
Growing,
yeah,
and growing,
yeah.
And the games that they have shattered with their shit fucking policy of online everything and loot box everything and microtransaction everything and fucking just not loot boxes, but surprise mechanics.
Oh, it's bad, bro. It's bad. It's just denial, bro. They're pulling a fucking straight up godforsaken Bethesda right now. They're in so over their head with the negative press and the perception of the company, and they are trying desperately.
Please don't hate us.
That's literally where we're at now.
Please don't hate us.
It's like they've given up on making quality games. Like they've just given up, and now they're begging. They're basically trying to brainwash you into thinking they're not as bad as they are. Just shut up and make good games. Stop fucking around. Just shut up and make good games. That's all. That's
like a great example was what was it? What was it? You played the games, the horror game in space, Dead Space. I got there I said the word space. Dead Space. So Dead Space was going to get like
not gonna lie,
or whatever.
Not gonna lie, I loved the first two Dead Space.
Yeah, Dead Space is good.
Yeah, I liked it. I liked it a lot.
And then EA got their hands on it, and then they actually said, what we need online shit. And we need microtransactions, loot box type shit, everything else. And then they said, you know what? We're just going to cancel this game now. The innumerable ways in which EA is so desperate to cram shit monetization into all of their games, and to sit back and think, this is fine. Why does everyone hate us? People don't have to spend the money on this shit. You're insane. I refuse to believe that that's stupid. They know exactly what they're doing. It was like there's a developer for, I can't remember what company it was off the top of my head now. But it was at one of the developer conferences, and he was talking about microtransactions and literally the science behind how they're manipulating fundamentally emotion and habit in people to create whales and to generate the money off of them, whether they have it or not. And shamelessly, no pulling punches, no trying to be like coy about it because he knew he was being recorded. Just outright,
yes,
we are using psychology,
yes,
to create gambling addicts,
yes,
and create addiction,
yes,
in people,
yes,
to further ourselves financially.
100%, bro.
Not make a good game, but do all this shit instead to increase the margin.
Yes, it's actually so bad that the games. I don't even know if they're this genius, but I'm just gonna say it. The games are so bad that the only time you actually feel good and it's exciting is when you're opening up boxes. That's when your endorphins go up because the game's garbage.
Yeah.
You need to buy this bullshit to make the game playable or feel like you're part of the actual action or you have some sort of customization. And then you have the endorphins fire off when you're spending $4.99 to open up pack cards or open up a fucking box or get a new skin or get some whatever. And that's just the way it is. I mean, that's just the way it is.
You know how I see this? I see this kind of like in marketing when for a period of time subliminal messages were fair ball. Where you could literally like insert a random single frame of like a picture of a product or something or an idea to plant it in someone's head, and that was fine.
Yeah.
And then eventually somebody went, you know what? That's actually not okay. That should be illegal.
Don't do that.
That's manipulating people.
Yep.
This is pretty much that. Is that they're outright, they're not even hiding it, they're outright saying, we are literally using psychology to create addictions in people where there wasn't one before, to normalize the spending of money in these games as a hook. You get the hook, and then you put an offer that is looks like it's timed and they can't get away from, and then there's a hook to that. And then once they've spent the first $1,
Yep.
now it's a normalized thing that they've spent money, and now they're more likely to spend money and keep spending money.
Of course.
And then you just all you have to do is put it in front of them.
Being trained.
And he even says in this fucking thing, in his little speech, he said, the incentives don't even have to be good anymore. Once you get to that point, they just have to be there. You don't have to put effort in. They don't have to be enticing.
Yeah.
You put almost anything there.
Yeah.
And they're going to buy it. It's crazy. That video, and I know somebody mentioned Jim Sterling. He did a thing on loot boxes and this microtransaction kind of deal here in the last few days. And if you want to watch it.
I didn't see it.
I'd already seen this video that he used as like the crux of this conversation. I'd already seen it when it originally happened a while back. I think the guy was like some Swedish dude. I wish I remember the company he worked for. But it was shocking when I first saw it. I was watching it going, like, it was the type of thing that you'd think that this would be in a boardroom meeting where nobody else but the board is seeing the shit. It is not. He was talking about this stuff so loosely in public that I thought this is almost like hiding in plain sight.
Yeah.
Like this is so
this dude's
crazy.
gonna be assassinated here pretty soon.
It's like
somebody's taking him out.
This is so crazy that I can't believe that he is openly letting people record him do this, because it's going to be used as a case
Yes.
to legally
I have to
stop
watch this. Yeah, I have to watch this.
all of this shit.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to watch this shit.
And I don't think we're that far away from it happening. I think we're probably within 10 years of this kind of predatory practice being illegal.
Yeah.
And it will be more than just the game industry that gets affected by it.
Yeah.
And it's going to be crazy to see, because it's quite literally creating addictions where there are none and crippling people financially and mentally, and they sleep at night like they just don't give a fuck.
Well, they don't.
Like it's one thing to go out there and try and just in a sane way make as much money as a company as possible. But the moment that you start psychologically manipulating
You're
people,
hiring people to figure out how to psychologically.
This isn't spending money on marketing at the grocery store to spend in a couple extra dollars to get your product up at the ideal average person's height level for their eyes, so that their eyes fall on your product first. Like that, we're not talking about this level of fucking.
No.
We're talking about literally fucking with your brain on levels that literally creates addiction, like you're on drugs.
Life. Yes.
For life.
Yes. Yes.
This isn't, the Pringles is in the crackers section.
Yes, dude. I can guarantee it. I mean, I can guarantee, especially how big the gaming market is now, and how kids are literally being raised in this. Like this is for the new generation. I mean, we've gotten at the tail end of our adulthood here, playing video games. So this wasn't a thing for us when we were teenagers. Like we used to just go and buy a game.
You just buy a game,
and it was either it was good or it wasn't. I mean, there was none of this fucking shit. There were no hot patches. There was no fucking downloadable content or none of that shit.
No.
Nowadays, this is it, and I can guarantee that if they did the studies for the next 10 years, 20 years, the kids that play the video games this generation, they are far more likely to be addicts in other parts
Yeah.
of their life.
Yeah.
Period. If you went to a kid
Gambling, alcohol,
all
anything,
of it, all of
anything,
it,
anything.
all of it.
Yeah, yeah.
You went to a kid that sat there and had his brain manipulated on feeling like he needed this for whatever reason, and he's used to just spinning a wheel or spinning or opening a crate or whatever, getting skins, getting weapons on CS:GO, whatever the case may be. Those guys are going to be far more likely, not saying that they are going to, but they are going to be far more likely to play the lottery, to grab a scratch ticket, to go to the casino, to do things that are risky, that are attractively risky, that there's, it's because it's something that clicks, and I can guarantee it. And I'm not saying that, just because there are these things that that this is the problem be all, and that's the reason why the fucking kids are being brainwashed. It's adding to the problem. It's adding to the problem. The video game industry isn't the only ones that are doing this by any means, but we're also, you even see things like as little as going to McDonald's and peeling off things on French fries or cups, and you're trying to get something for free,
of
or
course.
you see this everywhere. But the kids that are playing this stuff, man, it's getting bad. It's getting real bad. I remember like years ago seeing cases of kids jacking up their parents' credit cards for thousands of dollars.
That's still happening.
Now it's like a weekly thing. Now you just see shit. Now you see parents like, what the fuck? Like, my kid is straight up addicted to this fucking shit. Like, it's
Oh, it's nuts.
it's nuts.
It's nuts.
It's crazy.
And the arguments and stuff that the game companies tend to have as of late is, games are getting expensive. We need to fund our games somehow. These games are getting, we're providing longer and longer term support for these games, so we need to be able to create the money to be able to keep making this shit happen, et cetera, et cetera. Well, here's the thing. The game industry did perfectly fine before all this shit.
Yep.
There were still massive companies. The difference was they just weren't
Shit games.
they just weren't having CEOs make, $500 million a year.
Yeah.
It's not that they can't operate that way. It's just that you want to make more money in every conceivable way that you can get your hands on. Like, it's not that games can't exist without all these things.
Yeah.
They did for decades.
It's their shareholders
No
are so
problem.
used to those juicy fucking profits.
EA said? EA saying, "Oh, we just can't get how else do you think we're going to pay for these licenses for these sports games?" Like, I don't know. How did you do it for 20 years before that? How did you afford the FIFA license before before FIFA Ultimate Team?
Bruh, it's crazy. It's either that or they're so in over their heads where they started just paying up the fucking ass because they've been making so much goddamn money. And if they revert back to the old fucking style, or they don't, or if they change in some sort of way, that they're actually going to go under because because now you've got everybody and their dog used to making this much money, and once you turn back, there ain't no going back. That's the only thing I can see is they're paying FIFA an exuberant amount of money because they're making so much money that if they cut off any of the things, they aren't going to be able to. They're going to be going to FIFA and saying, "Hey, we can't afford to give you this much anymore for this kind of contract. This is what we're doing," and they're going to lose the licensing deal. Or I don't know. I don't know.
There's nothing wrong with wanting to make more money. It's what you do to make more money. That's a problem.
Yeah.
If I really wanted to make a bunch of money right now, I'd just go sell some drugs. Get involved in the drug market. Start selling fucking opioids to spry fielders.
There you go.
And then when the methadone clinic rolls around, I go 100 feet to the left and I wait and they get out of the methadone clinic, coming over and give them some more.
Walter whiten it out. I mean,
Free money.
You know, you make a valid
Free
point.
fucking money.
It's a shitty way to make some free money.
It's a shit fucking way to make money.
You're fucking up.
You're fucking up people.
You're fucking up people.
Something fierce.
Yeah.
Okay? If you're in a game company and you're going, we need to make more money, and your two choices are make your game making process more efficient and make better goddamn video games to sell more of them, or fuck all that shit and create addiction in an entire generation of children. What are your...
Going with addiction.
Yeah. And that's my point.
Yeah.
There is no excuse for it. It's not a money thing. It's not anything. It's
Yeah.
fuck them.
Yeah.
Fuck them. Fuck them. I want their kids to get addicted to the shit. So they can deal with it on their end. That's what you have to hope for. It's like it's like somebody who's never experienced it before gets to dismiss it. So until it's happened to them, they just don't care. It's like politicians that send everyone else's children to war,
Yeah.
but don't actually send their own.
Yeah.
They're so separated from the problem. They don't have any gravity. There's no gravity to it. There's no empathy. They can't understand.
And school gets shot up. Not my kids.
Not my kids.
It's not guns problems.
Doesn't matter.
Until one of their kids is in the classroom.
And then all of a sudden,
and now
that's
it's
a problem.
like, yeah, now
My
it's
point, fucking
yeah,
exactly.
yeah. That's it. That's be a fucking problem then. I tell you that.
Now it's a problem. But until then, sleep at night, somebody else's problem.
Yeah.
And that's what's fucked up. The video game industry is already bloated as it is. We're still experiencing that problem as we see it right now. In my opinion, publishers should stick to being publishers. Developers should get smaller, more efficient, and reduce the scope of these goddamn video games. People were saying stuff like, "Well, somebody in chat said, I can't remember who it was. You know, gamers want everything. They want the best games ever. They want them for free." That's bullshit. If that was the case, nobody's out buying God of War. Nobody's buying Red Dead Redemption 2. Nobody's fucking shoveling money into these AAA, well-established properties because they aren't free. And they don't have loot box mechanics coming out the fucking wazoo and all this other traditional shit. And they're still selling ass loads of copies and making hundreds of millions of dollars.
But Adam, they can't crank those quality games out every fucking second quarter.
Exactly.
That's what it is, bro.
Because the scope of them are fucking enormous.
Yes.
Back that shit up.
Yeah.
We don't always need 70 fucking hours of whatever. We don't need this constant insane production value for what? The games are still going to be garbage half the time. This, like, just scope them down so that you can get quality. Give me a quality 15 to 20 hours of my life.
Hell yeah. Give me that.
Give me that.
All day, baby.
If you're worried about getting them out faster, give me that.
Yes.
Otherwise, give me a 5-year development cycle and a 60 or 70 hour game and walk the fuck away.
Yep. Yep. I'm with you, bro. I'm with you.
And at that point, then it's just... But since everyone's the fucking goddamn rat race,
Yep.
chasing it, and
the market's feeding the fucking money to it anyway, right?
Exactly.
So they're all just trying to get it while it's good. They're just, people are shoveling money into the fucking burner. It's crazy. It's crazy. I mean, I even saw it there with fucking. Anyway, I don't want to get into it because we'll rant about it for too long. It's fucked up.
It's fucked up. It's fucked up.